Those who aren't with us. Okay, so it is almost the end of summer. It's August 10th, and this is a team call for Team Faithfully Fit. Totally excited to have Kira and Pam and Heidi on the call to talk about Summit. Dina is making a surprise appearance. She totally sandbagged the fact that she is on the call tonight, so I definitely will be hollering at her. But we are going to talk. There are so many announcements that came from Summit that really is going to be a great opportunity for you guys that weren't there to take notes, because we can really share with you what's coming down the pipeline. But most importantly, I'm super excited for everyone to share like what their big takeaways were just from a coaching standpoint and what Summit did for their business. So we're going to get into announcements first, and I am going to start off with Pam, and I'm going to move it straight to her. But while we were at Summit, she was working very closely with two of her new coaches who hit Emerald, obviously the same week that she then hit Diamond. And so it was so fun to be with Pam the week leading up to knowing that she was going to be hitting Diamond. So she became officially a Diamond 6 days ago. It's been in the works for a long time. She's been so consistent with her business while she's been teaching, I think, fourth grade. And she just finds her pockets to get her work in. And she's been very, very steady at building her business. And I can honestly say she's got great retention, and she's got a lot of people that are sticking with her as she continues to motivate them. So before I get on to any other announcements and recognition, I'm going to move to Pam because she's got two coaches that she's going to recognize that we are actually going to put on the slides for next week.
Okay, not to be totally off topic, but Tracy, I just had to tell you that I got the official offer for today for my fourth grade.
Yay! Good job. Amazing.
Congrats, Pam.
Officially employed for next year.
Yay.
Pam, that's great.
So yes, not, Beachbody's working on it.
Right.
Not ready to be just Beachbody yet.
She's not ready to pull a Heidi quite yet?
Not yet. It would be all bad right now. I just wanted to recognize two of my coaches who just became Emerald, Lillian Corwin and Alyssa Bayless. I don't know, my connection's not very good, so I don't know if either of them are on the call. But
Yes.
Alyssa
yes, they both are. Yeah.
Oh, good. Alyssa was 2 months in and had her first month, her call with Carl. And
oops, are you there? Are you there? Oh, no. We may have lost her. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Oh, you're back. You're back. You're back.
Oh,
Are you there?
no. Okay.
Are you there? We can hear you.
Yeah.
I take that back. Okay. So we're going to let her get a better connection. I'm going to move over to Heidi and Nicole.
Oh.
Heidi and Nicole, are you ready to go?
Yeah. Are you wanting me to do recognition?
I think so, because Pam keeps going in and out. I don't think she has a really good connection, so I'm going to see if she can get back on. Pam, if you can hear us, just disconnect and try to come back on.
Okay. Do you want me to go?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So I actually have three coaches on here. There's two before this slide, Tracy, but I'll do Kelsey first. So Kelsey is mine on the,
There you go.
yeah, there you go. Okay, great. So, so my first one I wanted to recognize was Jennifer on the left. I just realized I didn't put her name on there. How weird. So Jennifer has hit Success Club 6 3 months in a row, which is pretty awesome because what I wanted to mention was the month of July is actually like her busiest month in her day job, pretty much of the year. And they have like these live, like go lives. She works for a hospital. So she does like the IT for the hospital. And she literally had to pull like all nighters, like 3 nights in a row. She was working all her shift was overnight. And when you're not used to doing that and you have 2 twin girls, it's just tough. And so she's like the best commercial for Focus Energy, because she's like, there's no possible way I could have gone through that period of being up all night and working in a hospital. She wasn't working from home. She was working like in the hospital itself, and still hit Success Club 6. So it was just a really tough month overall for her, and she pulled through, and I was just so proud of her for doing that. So I know she'll listen to this call later. Her daughter's actually, one of her twins has 102 fever, so she's able to be on the call right now, but just really, really proud of her for pushing through and hitting 3 months in a row. And then Katie on the right, she's actually a nurse and just started her first job. And she's working right now. So I think she'll be trying to get in late or call in later. But I put that she graduated from nursing school and started her very first month of coaching all at the same time, and started working all at the same time as well. So her very first month of coaching, and she hit Success Club 10. Which was awesome. She was like, okay, I think I'll get to 6. And I was like, you get 2 more, you get to 10. She was like, okay, I'm going for it. And she hit Emerald at the same time. So just really proud of her resilience. And she followed Insanity Max 30 to a T. And that was really awesome to see. So she's done Hammer and Chisel, Insanity Max 30, and I believe 21 Day Fix Extreme, like all of them. And of course, 21 Day Fix, that was her first one. So she's done like 4 workouts to a T every single day. Very, very disciplined. So just wanted to congratulate her as well, and having a good month. And then I have one more, Tracy, on the next slide. It's Kelsey.
There we go.
There we go. So Kelsey also hit Emerald this past month with Katie. They kind of like both of them were going for it, and we had a Vox chain going, and it was like, let's see who can get there first. And she really worked hard as well to get herself to that goal. And I just love how extremely coachable Kelsey is. She's so open to feedback, open to new ideas, and she also has a full-time job and is working really hard and moved in the middle of all this too. So just really proud of her and her resilience, and can't wait to continue to see how her journey unravels as she continues to push towards Diamond. So nice job, Kelsey.
Awesome. I love your social media too, Kelsey.
Thanks. Yeah, she's great on Instagram too.
Okay, Nicole, I know Misty isn't on, but do you want to talk?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
I feel like last call I was just talking about her because she's such a rock star. She just joined last month, and our goal for her was for her to hit Emerald in the first month, and she did it. She has a ton going on. The great thing is she's a full-time Pilates instructor. But she has a lot going on with training for an Ironman triathlon right now, and it's a pretty grueling training schedule. So just super proud of her, and she's excited because now she's, feeling like she's helping her Pilates people even more. So
I bet she is. That's awesome. Okay, Dina, is Amy your coach?
She is.
Let's hear about this rock star. Look at her with the weight down there.
Well, and so that's the thing with Amy is that she just finished her first challenge in July and was just like, I love this. I am so into it. How can I get involved? And so I threw out the coaching opportunity to her, and she posted a CTA before I even told her how to post a CTA. So it was awesome. And, the first one was just sort of like a motivational quote and didn't really tell her story. So then I urged her to, that people they're not in love with the program yet like we are, so I told her that she had to sort of tell her personal story and get deep with it. And she was so nervous and so apprehensive. She said she had a lot of judgmental people in her life, that didn't like personal things going on Facebook, which I think a lot of us can relate to. But she did it after about 1.5 glasses of wine. She put it out there. She posted her story with the pictures, and she got so much support, and I was just so proud of her. She got something like almost 100 likes and like 20 comments. And actually some of the judgmental people in her life were the ones that commented and showed her that support. So I just think it was such a huge step to kick off her coaching business. And I'm just so excited to see where she goes with it.
Good. That's awesome. All right. Well, I'll look forward to seeing her on our call. Okay. So Pam, are you back on? I think she is.
Can you hear me?
Yes, you're here.
Okay. I'm on through my phone. So Alyssa and Lillian both started a month apart from each other. Alyssa hit Success Club 5 and 6 for both of her first 2 months, and just she's so consistent and solid in her research and just learning everything she can learn. She's just like a total sponge, soaking it up. And I know it's been really hard for her to put herself out there, but just over the last week or two, she's been completely just amazing with the posts she's been doing and putting herself out there. I love watching it.
I do too. You're doing a really good job, Alyssa.
It's like this huge leap. It's just awesome to see.
Yeah.
And Lillian hit Emerald her first month. And so I have to say, Juliet, you'll appreciate this. Lillian, I knew Lillian was going to be a coach when she wasn't even doing the program at all. And she was posting 22 push-ups every day for her husband's a veteran. And right at the same time as Juliet was doing it and getting all of us doing it, she was putting up her posts for every single day, these push-ups. I was like, oh my God, I'm doing this because I'm a coach and I really need to be doing this. I think it's great, but I'm killing myself, like trying to videotape push-ups, and she's on there daily. And I just knew she was inspiring people, and she's just really been so honest with herself, and it's been great to watch that happening. And that's why she's Emerald month 1. So I'm really proud of both of them. It's great. And we actually got to go out to lunch, the 3 of us, last week, and it was so fun.
We saw that amazing picture you posted. That was definitely one of my favorite pictures of the week, of your little team lunch. That was awesome, you guys. I loved it.
It was great. It was a blast. I mean, it was Lillian was in from Chicago, so we took advantage of the moment.
I'm glad you did. That's excellent. Awesome job, you guys. Okay, our last recognition goes to Suzanne. And so she's not on the call right now. She's on vacation for another week in Colorado. But you guys, Suzanne has she was a Dell executive, like back when Dell was like hot and heavy in the late 90s, early 2000s. She just kicked butt in her corporate job. And then she married a good friend of mine who I knew from Florida. And she has an autoimmune, and she's got 2 girls, and there's been some autoimmune in her family. And so she became a nutritionist probably about 5 years ago. She got really into nutrition. And so I hadn't really talked to Suzanne a lot. She wasn't really a big Facebook user, never really liked my posts, never really commented on my posts. But in January, I got a text message from her. We have been stranded for 2 days in an airport with 4 kids at Christmas time. And I get this text. It like made my day. And she was like, I've been watching you on Facebook for a year. I need to know more about what this coaching opportunity is about. So she was a prime example of someone who like didn't really use Facebook that much, never really like responded or liked stuff, but was definitely watching. And she would tell you like, I watched this journey, and I watched it and watched it, and she had said to her husband Craig, like, what is Tracy doing on social media? And so it goes back to like even before I started recording this call, for those of you that are watching the recording, we were talking about Juliet doing her workouts on the lawn and Nicole doing her workouts in her building. And I promise y'all, if you just stay consistent, there's people that are watching your journey that are going to come approach you. But shame on me for not approaching Suzanne sooner, because if I think of what would make an ideal coach, Suzanne has all of the skills that would make someone just a great challenger, would help them to be successful. She takes really good care of her challengers. She's an Emerald to Diamond training right now, and she also has got 2 challenge groups going on, all while she's on vacation, all while she's trying to learn everything. And for those of you who've been through it before, you know it can get a little overwhelming. So I'm super excited for Suzanne with her Emerald status. Okay, I'm going to get through this stuff a little bit quickly. You guys have probably seen this. This is all posted on the Poach page, but I also don't want to skip our leaders. So Success Club leaders for the last month, Heidi herself is staying consistent. She is always consistent with Success Club. So awesome job in the middle of the summer when it's super tough. Heidi with 16. Juliet doing a little Shanti on the lawn at her little pool club and her sailing club, which is so impressive, especially because she absolutely hated T25 when she first started it a few months ago. And then Kira and Suzanne both at Success Club 12, which Kira is constantly successful with Success Club. I think she hit 12 last month, like in the first week. And Suzanne, her first month of coaching hitting Success Club 12 is awesome too. And then wanted to recognize Juliet for volume as well. She always pulls in good volume each and every month. So all of you guys that are listed on here, all of you guys that hit Success Club 5 or above, amazing job. So excited and proud of you guys for being consistent. For our leadership ladder, our team builders, Dina, Pam, Heidi, Amy, and Megan. So awesome to see your names up here. And our new business starters, Alyssa and Caroline, and Kathy and Jason, who's working hard, and Juliet and Katie and Kira and Suzanne and Katie Templin and Jennifer. Awesome job with the leadership ladder. For those of you that are not sure what the leadership ladder is, talk to your personally sponsored coach about it. You can also go into the Coach for an Awesome Coach archive. We did a Zoom call a while back on the leadership ladder and what that qualification is if you're looking to figure out what each rank means, or if you've been on a rank for a while, like myself, and you want to move to a new one, you can figure out what it is that you need to do to move your business. And leadership ladder is just an awesome indication to show that your business is strong and stable and that you're building it on a solid foundation. So that's a really great thing about the leadership ladder. Okay, our top recruiter for the month of July, drum roll, Nicholas D'Amico.
Sorry, he couldn't make the call. He's out there selling challenge packs.
Gina,
He's holding down the prison.
So this definitely was not one of our best months for coaches, you guys, in the month of July, but we are still slowly and steadily adding people. Anyone who's in blue added at least 2 coaches, but Nicholas took the cake at 3, but already out of the gates in August, you guys, there were 24 coaches added to our team last week alone. So that's a much better start than we were in July. So I'm excited about the momentum. And I know that what we're going to talk about from Summit is going to really help push momentum in September. So this is all the new coaches that were added the month of July. This gets posted in the Poach page. So feel free to steal this image and post it in your own team page. You can take the Faithfully Fit off and stick your own logo on. What's mine is yours. So it's just really cool to be able to highlight some new coaches that are on there. They're all listed. Okay. Where do I even start? I mean, look at these beautiful faces. Oh my goodness. Summit was so like soul filling. I mean, my cup overflowed after Summit. Okay. So I am going to, while we've got Pam on the phone for a few more minutes, Pam, we're actually going to start off with you talking about your biggest takeaway, and then I'll lead you right into the Fixate announcement.
So I am like a compulsive note taker. So I took pages and pages and pages of notes at Summit, and I keep going back and reading through them, but there's like really no words to capture the experience of being with this group of women. I learned so much about being a coach and about what's important, but one of the things I learned the most was that I am completely surrounded and enveloped by these amazing women who support me and motivate me and inspire me. And it's like this incredible blessing. And I felt this, I felt it before, but Summit reinforced it. And I feel like I've gushed about it nonstop since I've been back. I think Andrew's like so sick of hearing about Summit. He doesn't know what to do with himself, but it really was an incredible experience. I also feel like I learned an incredible amount, just social media, but also the idea about being honest in our story. You don't need to create another story. Like, you don't need to have a sense of my story is not good enough, so I need to make it bigger or better or anything like that. Because if one of the things that was said, and I forget who said it, if you're not yourself, people will find out about that. You just need to be you, and that's what people will connect with. And different people connect with different stories. So when you put yourself out there honestly, you don't really know who's watching and you don't know who's connecting, but they will come to you in different ways. And it may be about fitness and nutrition, and it may be about something else. It may not always be about Shakeology. It may be about something entirely different, but you will touch people's lives through sharing your personal journey and your personal story. And that is one of the most fulfilling things about being a coach, is the impact that you have. When somebody says thank you, all the anxiety that I ever had about posting personally about myself became easier when I'd run into somebody and they'd say, you know what, you made a difference for me when I woke up in the morning. And all of a sudden it changes it all for you, because when you reach somebody, and they talked about that so much at Summit, about putting yourself out there. And that was one of my biggest takeaways, was don't give up on that. Don't stop. Don't be embarrassed at who you are. Don't feel like you need to be somebody else. Just be yourself and share that, and it will make a difference.
Yes. Amen. I agree. And thank you for sharing your perspective. I'm going to jump to one announcement for Pam so she can get off, and then we're going to go back and finish a couple other coaches. But Pam, why don't you talk us through the Fixate cooking show?
So Fixate is awesome. If you like to watch cooking shows, I don't really know anybody who doesn't enjoy watching cooking shows. I mean, my kids love watching cooking shows. Gracie's she's turned dinner into Chopped. We have to compete at who's gonna win for the courses that we cook. So 21 Day Fix, Autumn is now doing a cooking show, and the fun thing about it is she's doing it with her brother, and he's actually a professional chef, and they have this really great dynamic. The two of them got up on stage during Summit and talked about the show, and you could see their dynamic, and they just really the exchange between them is it's what you want to see. It's fun, it's engaging, but it's real cooking. So it's 21 Day Fix, but it's taking it to the level so nobody needs to feel like, oh, it's just healthy cooking. It's great recipes, just like in the Fixate cookbook. It's really good recipes, but it's bringing it to life. And I think it's going to reach a lot of people who are very intimidated by what it means to cook for 21 Day Fix. I mean, I've put together meal plans for a lot of people who have said, well, I want something really easy, because they're so intimidated thinking that they need to create these elaborate meals. And I think the Fixate program is going to make it so user-friendly for all of our challengers. It's kind of the next best thing to actually providing the food, which is something we're hoping they might do in the future. But Tracy was waiting for that the whole time. But I think user-friendly is one of the biggest phrases that I could use, is that here's really good food that you can cook and enjoy, you can entertain with. They're going to include cocktails, everything under the sun, but you'll still be able to either maintain your weight or lose weight, or whatever your goals are. You'll be able to stay completely focused while you're doing it.
And not to mention, it's another benefit for the Beachbody On Demand, right? So T25 is released on Beachbody On Demand. Hammer and Chisel is now available on Beachbody On Demand. So people really, for the first 30 days, you as a coach, if you're really talking to them about how they can apply the workouts for free and the cooking show, where I think, Pam, would they say they were going to start off with at least 1 to 2 recipes per week that are new.
And I think that cooking shows are a real hook. When anybody watches a cooking show on any channel, I think it hooks people in. So I think for people to continue with on demand, it's something that can really hook people in because they won't want to give up their Fixate show.
Yeah.
So if they do their 30 days free and they start watching it, it's that, you know, they love their 21 day fix workouts and they already have that on DVD. So they don't really need their, you know, to extend their on demand. But now it's more than just workout oriented. There's, you know, we've always said you get nutrition, but it wasn't really different nutrition than they could get, you know, on their own. This is different. It's something they can't really access any other way.
Right. Exactly. Okay. Any questions about the cooking show? Julia.
So that's awesome. I'm really excited about it. Is it starting now? Like, is there a start date or it's on now?
August. I mean,
In
they
August.
said it's starting. I'm not sure that we were told August, so it should be, I mean, I'm not sure if that means August 30th. But we were basically told it's starting August.
They said middle to late August.
Middle to later. Okay.
I mean, we're almost at middle, so I think it's just going to be a watch and wait thing.
Okay. I just want to put it on my page just to let people know because, I mean, as you guys know, I am one that, like, when people first start, I'm like, go to Whole Foods, get a rotisserie chicken, get all the vegetables, and you can do, I mean, like, when you're saying this, I'm laughing because I still have the cookbook and I have not opened it. My husband does, like, he looks at it and he's like, I'll do my own thing. But, like, this is really exciting because I think this will really resonate with a lot of people, especially people that know me and kind of do my kind of stuff.
Yes, Julia, you can do cooking on the lawn.
Right.
Well, let's not go crazy.
Well, and also now that they're adding the containers for so many programs, that they're calling this whole portion fix thing.
Yeah.
They're not just 21 day fix getting and extreme getting the containers. They're really expanding that to lots of their programs. I think that makes it that much more user friendly for people. So no matter what program they buy, you know, I think there's this recognition by Beachbody that no matter what program people are doing, the 21 day fix approach is the best nutrition program that they
I mean,
offer.
100%. It's 100% the best. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So you know, they're calling it portion fix when it doesn't come with 21 day fix, and the program is going, but it's really the same thing. So people can be doing other programs and still benefit from Fixate.
The nutrition. Yeah. And that's what having it on demand is so, because I'll have people that are doing other exercises, but they're like, but we want the nutrition part. And I always get a little stumped because I'm like, well, and that's when I throw in my rotisserie chicken kind of thing. But this is awesome. This is really exciting. Thank you.
Well, especially because they're going to have a visual to see how it's made, and then a visual on here are the containers that making this in bulk
100%
can be on your plate.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're just going to move on so Pam can get off the phone. But Pam, you want to just chat about Core de Force?
Yes. Okay, so Core de Force, for those of you who don't know, Joel and Jericho are two trainers who have been involved with Beachbody, Joel Freeman and Jericho McMatthews. They've been involved with Beachbody for a while, working with different programs. They have their own programs on demand, which I've actually just tried out since Summit to see what they're like. And they're great.
How were they, Pam? I'm so curious.
Joel, you know, working out with Joel is just a really good thing no matter what. You know, it's kind of like hanging with Shanti. It's just, you really can't go wrong. But I did the live workout with Kira and Dina and Allison. We did the live workout with Joel and Jericho, and they did not do the Core de Force workout, but their energy is insane. I was doing tuck jumps at 6 a.m, higher than I think I've ever done. You know, they are so motivating. So this program is martial arts oriented. And it's interesting because I've never done anything martial arts, and I've kind of rolled my eyes at that. But after working out with them, I'm like, well, I would pretty much do anything for them because they have this great energy that it just motivates you. So you're excited about it. And the other thing, when I've read about it, that I really like about it is that they break it into these 3-minute rounds. So I've just started max 30. And one of the things I really like about it, so, it's 30 minutes of this crazy intensity, but you do it, in spurts. So you do 3 rounds of each round of workout. So you're working your tail off for 3 rounds, and then you get to breathe. And as you're going through it, the clock's ticking down much more quickly than you think it's going to. I'll look at the clock and I'm like, thank God, I'm like halfway through. I've never been so happy to see it. The Core de Force is these 3-minute rounds. So I think it's going to feel the same way. You hit it really hard, and then you're done with that section. So it makes it more manageable to do something really intense. They're going to have modifier for every workout, just like the other programs. So you can do it no matter what level you are. It's really about, it's going to have the cardio, but it's about the core. It's going to, they say that it's really about losing the belly, strengthening your core, more than anything else.
I'm in.
I have no question. My goal personally is that I'm doing max 30, and when I finish that, I'm moving, as soon as they release Core de Force, that's what I'm doing next. And if somebody had said to me before that I was going to do a martial arts, as I said, I would have rolled my eyes and never would have done it. I think this is going to be amazing. I mean, Jericho's this mom. She had her little one out on stage with her. And so she's going to appeal to such a great variety of people. And as I said, Joel, anyone wants to work out with, he's like adorable. And I mean,
I think, was it Amy that told Joel he was easy on the eyes when she met him in person?
Yes. She patted Shanti's head and she told Joel he was easy on the eyes.
Right.
So, and she's so right.
That's so great. Okay, well, I'm writing down, because as you become more tenured in your coaching and as your teams become bigger, what makes a really big difference in volume is every time there's something new that's released and you market it the correct way, you see a surge in your own volume. And Rob and Chelsea, I think it was after 22-Minute Hardcore, when that was released in like March of this year or February, whenever it was, that was the week when it was released that they hit their highest volume in the history. And they'll tell you that Beachbody releases like 2 to 3 new programs per year. And every time there's a new release, you get better and better as a coach at helping your team market it. And you get better at marketing it yourself. And every time there's a release, you see a higher surge in your volume. So we're going to be talking a lot about this so that we can create as a team some really good hype starting in October about using buzzwords like, your test challenge group, and starting to throw ideas out there about Core de Force, and being really on top of when they do like a sneak peek, making an event out of it and talking about your event for a week. I did my first event with Country Heat, and I did not know what I was doing, and I literally threw the event up there a day before it happened, but I learned a lot from totally bombing with that. So again, it goes back to failing forward. So now I know what to do better for an event for when there's a sneak peek. So I will help you guys as this gets closer, really doing a good job marketing it and helping your new coaches market it so we can create some good buzz and hype around it for sure. Sound good?
All right, so I'm signing off.
Yep, you're done. Thank you, Pam. I loved hanging out with you at Summit. Right. Okay, have a great time tonight. Bye.
Thanks. Bye, guys.
Thanks, Pam. Have fun.
Thanks.
Okay, so before Heidi takes over about yoga, I just wanted to highlight this. I'm going to kind of toggle back and forth here because we had to be flexible with the way this call goes tonight. But Heidi was recognized for being a 2-star diamond coach. And Amy was recognized for being a 1-star diamond coach. And I don't know if you can tell in this picture, but all of these coaches, there it is. All of these coaches, you can see Kira's and you can see Dina's and Mandy's really well. They had these medals, like these, they're like Olympian medals, like a good heavy weight to them that had like what their rank was, and coaches just walked around with them so proud. So if you go to Summit next year and you're at a new rank, I think it started from diamond all the way to star diamond, you got these amazing, really cool medals. So that's what those medals are that Amy and Heidi are wearing. And then star diamond coaches got to sort of march out with their little flags that has their rank on, and they got to march out and have this recognition where like the whole crowd stood up and cheered for them. They played awesome music. So it was really fun for us to be able to be on the field to watch Amy and Heidi come out, and you can just see like the genuine excitement and pride on their faces when they were marching. So that was so fun to watch, especially for both of their first summits. So awesome job, Heidi and Amy both. Amy's not on the call, but on your recognition for your Star Diamond status. And I'll turn it over to you, Heidi, on the yoga retreat.
Okay, great. So obviously one of the big announcements that came out when we were at Summit, and one of the things that, if I got the stat right, that Carl mentioned, is that they surveyed people across the United States to find out if people would really be interested in yoga. And they found, I think they said there were 100, didn't they say it was like 100 million people that said they would do yoga, but they're too intimidated by going to an actual studio or class. And to this day, I have never one time gone to a yoga class. And I've done yoga, obviously 21 Day Fix, I've done yoga and Extreme, and I loved it. But the thought of going, for whatever reason, intimidates me too. I don't know why. So they found that it's a huge market, which is really exciting. And the awesome part about all this is that it's free for Beachbody On Demand members. I mean, talk about marketing for us. I mean, a lot of you guys know that you can now pay $99 for the year for Beachbody On Demand. I just had somebody buy it today. She never paid the $38. She was like, I'm doing it, $99. I was like, awesome. And I started telling her all the stuff she's about to get, like the cooking show and yoga and hammer and chisel. And she was like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. So whether you like yoga or not, think about the fact that there's 100,000 people out there who would like to try it. The fact that you can do it from your own living room, I think, is just so much less intimidating. So there are going to be 4 different instructors that are going to be teaching it. And the cool thing about it is it's beginner's yoga. So they're going to teach you the basics. You know how there's all these different moves that that yoga is based on, so that if they did ever want to go to a class, they will now feel comfortable. Which I know we don't do classes, but that's basically in the article they talk about it. Like, we want you to feel comfortable. If you did want to go, you could go now because you know all the basic moves. So one of the guys that's one of the instructors, he was in Survivor. I don't watch Survivor, but I guess a lot of people know who he is. So if you guys are big Survivor fans, he was one of the people. I can't even pronounce his name. It's Vytas. Speed, I don't know. But anyway, so there's 4: Faith, Ted, Elise, and this guy that starts with a V, if you know who he is. And it starts in September. So 3 weeks long, obviously, retreat. And I was telling Tracy, we were in the stands and we were listening to it. I said, how cool would it be to pair this with the Ultimate Reset? Because with the Ultimate Reset, you're not really supposed to do any kind of high impact exercising. And a lot of people don't exercise at all. But a lot of people will do yoga with it. So if you think about like how you're resetting your body, it is it's a very big transition. At the same time, imagine resetting your mind through yoga, because yoga is truly like a mind, it's a spiritual experience. So a lot of people get very emotional, when they're doing it. So I'm excited about it. That's something that's coming up that we definitely want to promote. But I think more than anything, we promote Beachbody On Demand and say, and you're going to get the newest program that's coming out in September. That's pretty awesome. So that's yoga. Did I miss anything, Tracy?
The only thing I'm going to interject is that Carl made 2 points in talking about how he did not want this yoga to be like a religious experience. He wanted it to be like the white backgrounds, because just with my faith background, honestly, there's some yoga studios that I won't go to because they are a little bit more about like accepting the universe and just things that I don't necessarily believe in. And because so many people have like a little bit of a contradiction in terms of like the religious experience with yoga, This is not like, he did not want it to be a religious experience. So it's like white background, green background. There's no like, from what I've heard, like no like namaste. Like it's just very basic so that it can be used for everybody. That's the only thing I'm going to add. Juliet?
So one question. So like my sister she does a lot of yoga. She's not like, into like the spiritual part of it, but she likes how it feels in her body because she's a runner. So she does it for the stretching part. And since she's just starting, a lot of her people in Charlotte, they're the same sort of people. So I think this will be fantastic for her, but I just want to understand, is it just basic moves or is it like, the 21-day fix extreme where you can get into a handstand? Because I don't think a handstand is pretty, I think that's not basic. I think that's kind of advanced, correct? Right? I mean, is it going to be just, downward dog and or whatever? Is it going to, or there going to be some harder moves?
The way they described it is that every week builds on itself. So
Okay.
It's going to get harder throughout the program, but they're going to start more basic in the beginning and then build on it. So in the actual, I can send it to you, but in the actual like description of it, it literally describes each week and exactly the moves they're going to focus on for every single week.
That would be huge because I know, she's like, as I said, she's pretty big into it. So I think if it was like too basic, she's going to be like, no, but I love the whole concept about it. So yeah, if you can send that to me, that would be huge.
Okay. And that's exactly the market they're going after, Juliet, is people that just want like stretching, flexibility, like that.
Right.
That's what it's going to be like. It's not going to be like a meditation type thing.
Right. Which is great. Yeah. Because
one other thing I was just thinking of is how, I loved PiYo. I still do. I still integrate PiYo into what I'm doing. This is a really good program to market to runners. A lot of people start training for races in the fall because it's cooler. So just think about those people who are runners. They will do yoga once to twice a week. And I know it's not like the full 3 weeks, but they still would integrate it into their workouts every single.
Yep. Yeah. That's like my sister, that's why she never started this. Cause she's like, I'm just a runner. And I was like, well, there's so many more, you can start weight training now that you're approaching 40, trust me, your ass is going to get big. There's no way around it. You're going to get the bass that you never had. So.
Oh my gosh. All right. I want to keep this moving because it's getting late. Nicole had a question. She wanted to know with the 99-day membership, the $99 membership for the year, what is included in On Demand. So if you go to the FAQs and you just type in On Demand, it will list all of the programs because T25 is released now. Hammer and Chisel is released now. There's a bazillion older workout programs. And then obviously there's the try before you buy. You can digitally unlock Extreme for much cheaper than if you get the DVDs. So it lists it all in there. And if you can't find it, Nicole, just box me and I'll post it in the post page.
Digital unlocks are awesome because if you unlock them and you find that it's not a program for you, they'll refund your money. It's not a risk. So
just like if you forget to tell somebody that their 30 days is up and they accidentally get charged, they are really good about reimbursing it. Cause that's happened to me 4 times where someone's like, I got a charge. I'm like, oh, sorry. Forgot to give you the warning. But now the new emails are coming out. I just got my email today that I got more Shakeology on the way. Have you guys gotten yours yet?
Yeah. Me too.
Lifesaver, no more maintenance.
Wait, that's so exciting. I have not gotten that though.
Yes, all of our customers are going to be getting an email saying that their Shakeology is on the way and they can cancel, change flavors, and there's links on where to go and how to do it. It's amazing.
That's awesome. So but have anyone else, shipping has been so bad, with all these new people that I have in Long Island, because there's PO boxes around here. 13, 14 days. It's been awful. I have so many people are getting double orders and getting so much stuff for free because of the crap. Have you guys been dealing with that, or is it just maybe the area I'm in?
Yeah, no, it's been bad for me too. I had a girl order a barista pack and it had barista on her insert and on all the Shakeology stuff, and she had a bag of strawberry in her kit, random craziness. And it's been taking forever too.
Yeah, I've been so much doing so much work on the back end, just trying to get everyone up to speed. So yeah, whatever. Okay, sorry, Trace, go ahead.
All right, we'll box separately on that. That's frustrating. Yeah. Okay, Heidi, take us away on Country Heat.
Okay, yeehaw! No, I'm just kidding. So Country Heat. Sorry, I had to slip that in. So I don't know if you guys saw, obviously, that I couldn't believe it. It was amazing that the new number one program sold. And talk about marketing. This was so well marketed, in my opinion. And I will say, like, we are all entrepreneurs and we all run our own business, but we are so fortunate that we have a company doing all this for us. I mean, we do our own marketing, obviously, but to have the amount that they had, and we had this, you know, the workouts on demand that we could test, and you know, we were all dancing and putting it out there. Here's my take on this. First of all, the fact that it comes with 21-day fix or the containers is awesome. But I think the reason why, in my opinion, this has taken off so much is because 21-day fix and 21-day fix extreme is still intimidating for some people. I still have people say, oh, I saw those workouts and I don't even want to try them. Like they still look hard. So for people who don't regularly work out or are not athletic or are scared or haven't worked out in years or they're older, this is so much less intimidating because they're just dancing. So, and they're dancing in their own living room and nobody's watching. So they can be silly and mess up and have fun. And it is actually really fun to do with kids. Like my kids still like really, really, really enjoyed it. So it makes sense, you know, and it's obviously great value. So anyway, just the fact that it's out there, Tracy said it before, I'll say it again, whether you like to do it or not, there are so many people out there who obviously like to do it and enjoy it. So we kind of need to put our opinions aside and still make sure that you guys are doing your fun videos. Like we did that one day, but like why not do it again? You know, why not do like a fun one with your kids or just to throw it out there, and people are really responding to it.
They really are. They really are. And I don't know if you guys saw the very first slide that I had up here, but one of the ways that they opened up Summit, is that Carl was talking about, like, look, are you guys feeling like your market is getting saturated by Beachbody coaches? Well, maybe, because everyone is using social media, but you have to get creative and you have to get out there and you have to talk to people and you have to find people, because there's 226 million people who are obese just in the United States. And I am finding with this like page stuff that I'm doing that I am going to teach some of you guys who are ready for it, is that I'm finding that there are people on social media who've never heard of Beachbody. They are totally obese. They don't know what to do. They feel helpless. And this is an amazing program for them to start with because it's fun. You get totally sweaty. I actually injured myself doing the lasso. I injured my shoulder at Summit. It's like the big joke because I think I hurt my shoulder a little bit, then I slept on it weird, and I'm like, I might be the only person who hurt themselves in country heat. But anyway, it's super fun, and I think the fact that it's the #1 seller over any other Beachbody program that broke a record, there's obviously a market out there for it. So maybe those of us who like aren't into it, just again, like Heidi said, just remember that if you're not into it, it doesn't mean that someone else isn't going to be into it. I think about that every time I talk to someone about vanilla Shakeology. It's like the big joke. Someone's like, I think I'll try vanilla. I'm like, are you sure? Because I can't stand vanilla, but lots of people love vanilla.
I love vanilla. It's my jam.
Exactly. Okay. So this is the last thing that is going to be an announcement, and then I'm going to let Kira take us home in terms of like what she got out of Summit. This is going to be amazing, guys. So starting in, and I'm going to give a ton more information about this, but I've just started marketing it to my leads, and I'm going to give you guys some examples of invites that I sent out today. The health bet is coming out, and Beachbody took $1 million and put it in a pool, okay? And those people who can join the Beachbody tracker, okay, so that's the app where we're running challenge groups out of. Those people that are in a challenge group for the month of September using the tracker, and they track 3 workouts and 4 shakes a week for the entire month of September. If they complete that, they are eligible to be one of X amount of people that splits the $1 million pool. So they basically get paid to get fit. So for challenge pack sales for the month of August, every single challenge pack that's sold, $5 from that challenge pack goes to the pool. So the pool is going to cap out at $3 million, okay? So if you've got the $3 million pool and you start your challenge groups, if you've got challenge groups starting, August like 28th, is that the last Monday? That challenge group runs for 30 days. And if you're running it in the challenge group tracker and your challengers or discount coaches or you as a coach are logging in 4 shakes and 3 workouts, you will get paid. So they're going to take all the people that were able to do that in the Fit Bet, and they are going to split the pool up and basically pay people to get healthy to kick off fall. So it's FAQ 4477 if you want to go read more information about it. I did a ton of reading, like checks are going to get cut. Coaches are going to get it direct deposited through like the payday in like middle of October, something like that. But it's a really cool way to kind of open up the gates for leads. So I was just in the Emerald to Diamond training, and we just had leads that we went over, and everyone's like, I'm reaching out to my leads and no one's getting back to me. And that's frustrating as a new coach. But you got to stick with leads. And that's one thing that I did today. I literally, and I'm recording this so you guys can go back and read this, but like this guy, Jeff, he was the first person that I put in the tracker like many, many months ago. And he was like totally disappointed with the tracker. So I had him in Streak. I followed back up with him. And I said to him, like, we have a lot of couples signing up for getting fit together. We've got this pool. It's $1 million. It's called FitBet, blah, blah, blah. You guys can read about it. This person, Erlene, you guys can copy this. Also, beginning of September, I'm running a Fitness Shakeology Challenge group using an app that can be uploaded to your mobile phone. And I go in and talk about, like, very briefly what the FitBet is, and then I end it, does this sound like something you want to chat more about? So it's just a way for me to go back to all of my leads. I can copy and paste it. In Streak, I can literally send one email to like 800 people in one click. And every person that receives the email, it looks like I just sent them the email to them. So they have no idea that I bulk blasted them. But it's just a good, it's like what, like someone who's feeling like a little helpless or like, yeah, I bought this from Beachbody. I don't know, you know, I've got a bag of Shakeology. I don't want to be in a challenge group. But then if they hear they can actually get paid to get fit, you get them a 30-day trial on demand. You help them figure out which workout they're going to do. They've got a cooking show they can look at now. You upload this app, and we can talk about that at another time, but I'm in a challenge group with a couple of you on this call right now where we're doing a test group with the app, which is so easy. The feedback is fantastic from our challengers. They love using it. And people are getting paid at the end of a challenge group, even if it's like $15. There are people that would love a $15 check just for being in a challenge group. So that was pretty cool. I had to let that digest. I was like, how is this going to work? But people are getting really excited about it. Yeah, Juliet.
So if I have one starting the 29th, but I have another one starting, let's say like September 15th, I don't even know, but can I still, anything in September?
No, there's specific dates. I think it's like September 4th through like October 2nd or something like that. It's in the FAQ.
Okay, I'll read about it. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Anyone else have questions about the FitBet? Laura, did you have a question? Okay. Okay. Whoop. That is it. So that was Summit. But I'm going to let Kira finish up with what some of her takeaways were because she flew the furthest.
So I get it for that. I'll keep it brief, but there are definitely a couple of things that I took away. The biggest one I posted on the Poach page today, Gary Vee, who I think his tough love kind of approach to kicking that stadium kind of in the butt a little bit, quite honestly. Like he talked about social media and how we should all be using Facebook ads and how we should be pivoting with technology and we should all be on Snapchat. And he's like, I know a lot of you don't even have Snapchat accounts and are like, I don't need to learn that, but you need to learn it. And he's like, I'm telling you all this because 98% of you are going to go home and do none of it. So it just kind of resonated with me. And I mean, he definitely told a really cool story about how he built this online wine business and he worked his butt off and growing up. And he basically went from nothing to a lot. And he talked about how it was through hard work and that there was no substitute for hard work and putting in the hours, and nobody gets overnight success. There's no overnight success. There's a lot of hard work that you don't see. And I know Kelly posted this on her page a lot, that glacier picture about how you only see the tip of the iceberg, and there's a ton that's going on underneath the water, because you only see like a tiny fraction of it. So there's no story. There's just a lot of work. And that resonated with me. The other thing was the conversation, obviously the presentation that Chelsea did about being there for your challengers. And that was kind of something that was in kind of the thought today, like caring about your customers. It just made me think that I need to be a better coach for my challengers, like knowing every single round, like where their starting point is and where they want to get to, and knowing their why and what their goal is for that 21-day sliver every single time. And I felt like I fell off a little bit and kind of got a little comfortable having the same people in my groups over and over again. And I'm like, I know what their end goal is, but it changes for everybody. And as people lose weight, maybe they have a different goal. And so I want to make sure that I'm asking the right questions. And, the other person whose name I totally forget, Tracy, maybe you can keep me honest, who was on stage with Chelsea.
Was it Ali Upham?
Okay, yeah. And so she was talking about how she knew every single story in detail about all of her challengers and all of her customers. And that just hit me. I'm like, I need to be better at that. So asking more questions, checking in with them more, kind of like protecting the people that run with you and trust you. We're sitting out there, just exactly what you were saying earlier, Tracy, trying to find all these new challengers and our Success Club points, but making sure that we're spending just as much time taking care of the ones we've got and making sure they come back every month and achieve the goals that they set out to. And if they're not, figuring out why and digging into that. So, and the big thing from that presentation was setting boundaries. And as coaches, sometimes we're there so much for our challengers. So figuring out a way to really be there for them, but like maybe setting work hours or being there in the evening time. And Ali had talked about how when she gets questions from people outside of the group, like she'll get text messages or direct messages, she'll say, "That's a great question. Go ahead and ask it in the group." And so by the third time they'd ask those personal messages of her, they kind of get it, that they need to go talk in the group. So, and she said by the time she would get around to answering it, a lot of times they were answering it for each other, and they were like their own, sorry, I've got my toddler in here. But, and then Shalene, her talk was awesome because she talked about being your authentic self and telling your story and being you. And I know there's a lot of people that are afraid to post those photos or just be authentically vulnerable. And, she just talked about how you can help so many people by just being you and being authentic and honest. And that really resonated with me too. And then if you can't be that right now, make sure you're doing personal development to get there, because you have so much of a story to tell, and it's so important to get that out there because you just don't know whose life you can affect. And that definitely stuck out to me. And then everything that Pam said, I mean, honestly, these ladies are freaking awesome. So being there at an event with them, like that alone, I would have sat in a bar and sat there and just had wine with you ladies the entire time. It would have been worth the entire trip. But it was just awesome to be there and have that feeling of knowing that you're part of something larger. And that was just a really awesome takeaway.
Amen. I mean, the live events is where it's at, because I think you can feel it you can feel it virtually, you can feel it in Zoom calls, but until you're like face to face talking to each other, it really, seeing the speakers, I mean, those of you that can go to Platinum Edge, I mean, you get a ton of Shalene, and you'll see, for those of you that went to Summit and you documented it on your social media and you're applying what you've learned, I mean, I think the challenge group thing impacted a lot of people. You definitely get your return on investment with what you put into these groups. I promise you. Yes, you have to invest in your business, but you will see it come back tenfold. And that's what we're kind of talking about in the Poach page, about asking all of our challengers that have started this round or next week or last week, asking for their pictures and their measurements. It's like scary for them, and that they're trusting you to do it, and that they know that you're going to be asking for it again in 21 days. when your challengers get results, you guys, that's when the magic happens, right? It's all about like your own fitness journey and getting it from your challengers. So that I know that was like a huge aha moment for Dina too. Just the challenge group piece was huge. Did I miss anything? Dina, did you want to throw anything out before we call it a wrap?
No, I mean, basically everything Kira said. I think especially during Chelsea's speech, we kept looking at each other like, yes, why don't we do that? So all those highlights, and then obviously just, seeing you ladies in person and getting to know you better was amazing.
It was so fun. Snapchatted all the big first time hugs in the airport. Gary would be proud.
Yes, he would.
All right. Well, I know this call has gone over, you guys. It was so much information. So share it with any of your coaches who may have missed it. Awesome job on all the recognition. Thank you guys for your time. And I will see you guys in 2 weeks.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, Katie. Bye, Katie.